Hello, it's Khechara here, the Facelift Food Coach at www.thefaceliftdiet.com, and I've changed my background. I thought you'd all be bored with seeing my boring white wall in my apartment, so I've got some of my boyfriend's artwork behind me instead. You want to see? There's only a small part of it. But anyway, sorry I've not done a video for a while. I've been super busy. I've just landed a lecturing contract teaching on an essential oil science course over in France, so I've been busy sort of writing modules for that. For those of you that don't know, my main business is actually teaching organic skincare formulation to therapists and spa workers and entrepreneurs, so that takes up a lot of time, as you can imagine. And but I love doing like videos about nutrition and talking about food as well, as it's one of my other passions. And I just thought I'd do a really quick one today about pineapple mouth. If you've ever eaten the average pineapple bought in a supermarket or whatever, you may have discovered that afterwards you have like a really sore mouth or sore tongue. If you're quite sensitive, like I am, you might find you end up developing something called geographic tongue, which is where you get sort of patches on your tongue of where the taste buds have actually been destroyed, and you get these like red sore patches all over your mouth, and you may get little cracks at the corner of your mouth. And the reason is because most pineapples, in fact pretty much all pineapples, unless you live in somewhere where they're grown, such as Hawaii, are totally unripe, and they're very acidic. In fact, I would hazard a guess that they're probably the most acidic fruit you can probably buy. My mouth doesn't react to any other fruit the way it does pineapple, so I'm gonna, sort of state that it's probably like one of the most acidic fruits you can get when it's unripe. So you have to be careful, because lots of unripe fruit acids are very, sort of like bad for your teeth and mouth and your body. Unripe fruit is not very good. We've covered, the importance of eating ripe fruit in another video. But a lot of people don't actually know what a ripe pineapple actually looks like, especially me here in the UK. All of our fruit is very much unripe because we don't grow very much here, apart from apples and pears, and strawberries for about 2 months of the year. So I have to rely, 99% of my food is brought in imported food. So I've learned to sort of how long you have to leave things to let them ripen, so they're no longer really acidic and bad for your teeth and gums. Here's what your average pineapple looks like that you might buy in a UK or non-Hawaiian shop. There you go, it's quite perky looking, quite firm, and got a lot of green, so it's quite green and yellow, and the leaves are nice and green. And this is like, you may have heard that if you can pull the middle leaf out, which I can't, this is a very unripe pineapple. Yeah, a lot of people say if you can pull the middle leaves out, then it's ripe. Well, that is not true at all. There's a lot longer a pineapple needs to sit before it's properly ripe. Here's one I ripened earlier. I've had this one sitting around my apartment for literally 3 weeks now, and can you see the difference? I'll get my face out of the way. This was the same size as this one when I first bought it, but it's actually shrunk a little bit as it's ripened. It's very dark orange, the ripe one. The leaves are all brown and crispy. And at the bottom, it actually starts to get a little bit of mould, but that's because it's sat on my windowsill, which is not really a good place for a pineapple. Did you hear that? That was a really loud motorbike going past my flat. So this is what your pineapple should look like before you eat it. It should look very orange. There should be no green on it at all. And the little brown, the little leaf things that poke off here, these should be totally crispy and brown, like paper. And the leaves should have all turned back on themselves and be quite brown and crispy as well. And then when you cut into this pineapple, it will just smell amazing, like really rich fruity smell. Whereas the unripe one, it hardly has a smell at all. There's a very, very faint pineapple smell, but it's quite like a tangy pineapple smell, whereas there's one, it's really, really like, just like really overpowering and amazing. I'm going to open it in a minute and eat it all. And when you eat your pineapple totally ripe, it'll actually taste sweet. It won't be like really, really tart and acidic like an unripe pineapple would be. They are still acidic to an extent because they are an acid fruit. So you don't want to be mixing these up with your bananas and dates or anything if you're following food combining rules. But they're great to, I like having them in a platter with sort of chopped mango as well. So you've got like chopped mango and chopped pineapple, you can just like feast away on it. It's so juicy. And when you eat your pineapples like this, you shouldn't have problems with your mouth afterwards. Some people still do. Some people are very, very sensitive to certain fruits. And we, you know, although you've let this ripen to this state, it can't really be considered a truly ripe fruit because it's not been plucked from the plant ripe. I've had to let this sit for, you know, 3 weeks to get like this. So it's the second best really, but I don't live in Hawaii, so I have to make do with what I can get. But I always try and make sure my fruit is properly ripe as possible, so I don't destroy the enamel of my teeth and don't make my mouth all sore and cracked. So there you go. For those of you that didn't know, that is what your ripe pineapple should look like. Nice and golden yellow, brown crispy bits and brown leaves. And when you cut into that, it'll be really yummy and juicy and shouldn't give you a geographic tongue or horrible pineapple mouth. Okay, so that's just a quick one from me today. It's a gorgeous sunny day here in England. I've been outside without a coat, which for March is pretty epic really, because it's, you know, it can be really cold in Britain right up until the sort of end of May. It depends on how things go. And I'm in Plymouth, in Devon, which is usually quite rainy and cold and damp. So I'm really enjoying the fact it's amazingly sunny. And I'm going to get my pineapple on. See you soon.